very badly affected here around Port Macquarie on the New South Wales Mid-North Coast. We've been hearing from the local SES this morning that they have been called out to hundreds of jobs in this area overnight, and they are getting to them as quickly as they can. Flood rescues are taking priority, and there's a mixture there. There's a lot of people that have become stranded in their homes as these flood waters have risen incredibly quickly, but also really frustratingly for the SES, a lot of people are driving around town to have a look at what's going on, but they're also finding that some of these people misjudging a flooded road and driving into floodwaters and then needing themselves to be rescued, which is taking away from the other rescues that the SES is trying to do of people that are stuck in their homes. We also heard from the SES that their volunteers are really stretched to the limit here, and this system that's affecting Port Macquarie is not isolated. It's stretching to the district to the north of us around Coffs Harbour, and also affecting to the south around Taree and Newcastle. So there's no other resources that can be called into the area at the moment to help with this situation. But let's hear a little bit from the SES now.
Say to everyone, please, if you don't need to drive anywhere, please don't drive anywhere. If you are isolated, you need to isolate and shelter in place. We will get to everyone, however it's delayed. We are prioritising those as best that we can. However, there may be delays. It might be 12, it might be 18 hours before we can get to you. Please, I say, shelter in place and don't travel unless you absolutely need to. If it's flooded, forget it. We've been pulling too many people out of cars, off cars, out of caravans where they've tried to drive through floodwater and been trapped.
Really important advice there from the SES. And Karen, there's already some concern about how the recovery is going to go.
That's right, there was some talk, we've also heard from the local council this morning, this situation that we're experiencing now, this flood essentially that Port Macquarie is experiencing now, is being compared to the 2013 flood. We heard in some information from the Bureau this morning that flood levels and some of the bridges that are monitored are already exceeding what we saw in that 2013 event. And during that event, there was a really big, level of support that came from both state and federal governments to help this area in its recovery. And the local mayor and the CEO of the council have both reiterated this morning that a similar level of help is going to be needed in the recovery from this event, which of course hasn't even started yet. We're still in the midst of it, but already looking at just this mammoth recovery effort that's going to be needed here.
Absolutely. All right, Karen Thomas there in Port Macquarie, thanks for the update.